this pole vector. So this one here. And sits the pole leg back right. So I'm just going to, you see it just has translational information on it. I'll delete this. And then I'm going to, the actual locator is here, the one that our pole, the one that we've constrained to originally. So I'm going to select that and then just select this one here and go constrain point. Again, I only need a point constraint on this. These, see, I find these ones are easier to do all in this window, whereas some of the other ones are easier to select it here and then select it there. Then I'm going to do this one, which is the pole leg front right. I will break the connections here, and then I'll select the locator, and then this, and go constrain point. And then I'm going to go to this one here. I will break the connections, then select, this is our locator, and then this is the angle constrain point. Always a good idea when you're doing this to run back and check to make sure everything's still working and something hasn't gone horribly awry. And then, I think, is that all of them? No, and then there is it this one here? Yes. Break the connections and constrain that pole vector to that locator, constrain point. So let's see, we've got that. So we've got, let's just check them. This is being constrained. This is being constrained. This is being constrained. And is there any others? Let's have a look. Oh. I think this might not have been constrained. Let's have a look. Oh, that's been constrained too. Okay, so it would appear that everything has been constrained. Right. Now, the moment of truth. When we've done that, when we've reconstrained it also, we can go back to the original locators that we put on these two paths and we can unmute them. I'll just go unmute selected. And now the leopard will move along the path. Now you can see that this doesn't matter, by the way. It's left this control behind. I didn't use it to animate it. It won't affect anything. We're going to bake it out anyway. But if you wanted to, if you had animation on this and you wanted to take it with you, you would just have to make another locator for it. But anyway, so it's going a bit quickly, as we can see. I'll make it. I'm just going to save again. It's going a little bit on the quick side. So what I can do, a very simple way of dealing with that, is we're just going to lower the gradient of these lines that all the locators are on, our path locators, until this starts to bite. So I'm just going to lower it down a bit. Let's see, so looking better. You'll see it if you go in, you can see, actually it's easier to see here. So you can see that foot? And zoom in on one of the feet. Maybe it's going forward a little, it's kind of twisting. I'm going to take this back a wee bit, see if there's any. Okay, so we've got, okay, it's not bad. Okay, so we'll run with this. So then you have this. And because these animals have long bodies, they look nice and they're walking along. They look nice and they're walking along paths. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, yeah, so you end up with an animal that looks a little bit more. I should turn these locators off. Where are they? Yeah. So yeah, it looks a little bit more. Yeah. You understand what I mean. A bit more normal. So that's one thing. Now, obviously, the great thing about this is you can always go in and you can still adjust your animation. You can also use the layers. So, for example, I've already used these. You know, if you have animals would tend to look and see where they're going. I can use a layer. So, for example, I want to put these controls into a layer, and I'll add them here. Those neck controls. I can call it something like head anim layer. And so I've got my base animation on this, my path and everything, and I can put extra animation on the head. So I can maybe have the leopard look which way it's going. So I'm just going to open this up a bit more like that. So there is no animation on this layer presently. I'm going to key it here on all these, and I'm going to maybe have him kind of turn slightly. No, not that way. That doesn't look very interesting. Maybe move his head this way and turn it round a bit as he comes round this path. So then you have, you'll have this. Oops, he said. I'll try that again. Okay, so I'm going to have him coming like this, turning his head round. Oh, I forgot to put my auto key back on. I was wondering what was going on with that. So anyway, so you can have him kind of looking around, and then maybe anticipating the look back. So the animal's going to know which way he's going, so he would he's going to turn his head looking to see where he's going. So then you can have him looking. Let me see. So looking this way. I'll turn that off. So you can have the kind of head turning as he's walking. And another thing that's kind of handy about this, which makes it, and you can always remember to kind of turn it back if when you stop using it. Another thing that's interesting about this is, well, as we can see if we look a little bit more closely, the feet are still, as it goes around the curve, there's still this kind of sliding on the feet. Yeah, see that? That kind of slides all over the place. But this is actually very easy to fix, because the next stage, once you've got the animal moving the way you want and on a nice curve, you can go and stabilize the feet, and that's very easy to do. All you do then is you select the controls that that are being controlled by the locators. So the pelvis, the shoulders, the feet, and also the pull vectors. And I'll leave I'll turn the locators off. Oops, not that. I'll turn the locators off so I can select the pull vectors. So these, this, and where are the other two? In here somewhere. Here and here. And you just bake this back out again. So I mean, I've selected all these, and then I just go. I'll save the scene first, just in case it crashes. And you bake the animation that was on the locators that made it go around the path back onto these controls. So I just go Edit, Keys, Bake Simulation, and now I'm probably going to bake on 2s. You can bake on 1s again. For a walk, I tend to do the first bake on 1s and then the second bake on 2s, just so I get slightly less frames, but you still have a very close. It's very close to the original animation. So I'm going to bake on 2s on this. I'll just bake this, and you'll see what happens. It's going around, blah blah blah. Okay, so now there is animation on all these controllers. But you'll see the animation looks different because now it's in what's known as world space. You see, so the feet are going forwards like this. They're not. It's not no longer a wave. So the reality is now I can get rid of all this stuff, the curves, all of this, I can just delete it because it's not actually doing anything. The animation is now, the meandering animation is on the cat. And even better, if I want to stabilize the feet, I'll just show you one foot so you get an idea. So look at this one here. It's sliding all over the shop. Grab hold of this. Because it's in world space now, first of all, the foot comes down, say there. I want, when something's in world space, when you have straight lines, means you have no motion. So I'm just going to straighten this up. So I've got a straight line here. So okay, it's not moving forward in the Z. Let's go to the translate X. Let's see what that looks like. So, because obviously the feet are moving in 3 dimensions here. So that's where the foot comes down. Let's see, I'll get rid of this. I might drop this down a bit, see what that looks like. So we've got a straight line. You might have to play around with these. Maybe something like that. Doesn't have to be perfectly, but you see, there's a big rotation on this. Now, rotations on the feet are fine, but maybe you don't want them too extreme. We do rotate on the balls of our feet. We certainly don't slide, but maybe I'd take this down because this looks a bit too much. It's almost like he's on ice. So let's see, the foot comes down here, and then I'm going to knock these keys away. Again, make it flat, and its foot is rotating to, say, about here. So I'm going to pull this point up just so you can see what I'm talking about. So his feet don't rotate that much. Now look at this. Let's make that on so you can see. See, the foot comes down now. Look, click, and it's completely locked. It's not moving. Admittedly, when you do that, you're going to have to, go through some of the most obvious feet. You're not going to see it all the time, and just lock them down. And that is how you animate an animal on a path. And you can add other things, like you can add, you can go into, you can add a time warp to it. And if you have the full version of Maya, there's a bonus tool where you can just warp the speed of the animal. So anyway, I hope this is beneficial.